When Earth was first discovered by the wider galaxy after the failed CIS invasion, the rapid influx of Republic technology and resources sparked a new revolution as Terran technology expanded. There was not much cultural development that came with this, as historically, Terrans were used to such rapid and spontaneous increases in technology. The largest changes were in the fields of medicine and military development. Medically, Bacta revolutionized the way doctors treated their patients. Large-scale research began with the goal of expanding the uses of Bacta. Traditionally, Bacta was used in either large tanks to submerge a heavily injured victim or sprays, acting as topical healing ointment. Through study, the Terrans were able to turn Bacta into a drinkable tonic, which increased the user's regenerative abilities for a short time, while also healing any diseases they might suffer from. It was also converted into a sort of stimulus shot, much like epinephrine. This had a similar effect to the tonic, but with much more localized strength. The regenerative abilities of Bacta even proved to slow the spread of cancerous cells long enough for surgical removal. Advanced robotics also enhanced the field of medicine, as doctors now had incredibly precise tools for performing surgeries, greatly decreasing the mortality rate of patients. Robotics served elsewhere as well, as droids flooded the Terran streets. These were, at first, simply used as service machines, working store tills and factories. Eventually, though, it was found that droids developed a sort of sentience when left without a mind wipe for some time. This sparked the rise of several advocacy groups who called for droid citizenship, a movement which did eventually succeed, making Earth the first planet to recognize droids as a true sentience. Militarily, Earth quickly developed into a strong fighting force. Though many called for the widespread use of lasers initially, an official Terran military doctrine was drafted which required all ships and other machines of war to have majority weapons be mass drivers, rather than lasers. With this doctrine, Earth built its first spacefaring navy. The first ship that the Terrans built was a battleship, the Yamato II class. It was an adaptation of an older design, twice as large as its namesake and refitted for the purposes of space warfare. Though small, it was powerful, and the ship informed the design parameters of every new Terran warship, with large dorsal and ventral gun turrets facing both to bow and to stern, ensuring the ability of the ships to provide fire in all directions. The need for a good carrier craft could also not be overstated, so the Terrans converted the large Gerald R. Ford-class carrier to operate in space, carrying refitted F-35 Lightnings as fighter bombers. Unlike most militaries of the many nation-states of Earth, the carrier was switched to a support role while the battleship took prominence as the flagship of the fleet, a status it had not held in almost 100 years. The early Terran Navy saw many such repurposed terrestrial vessels due to the rapid demands for a functional fleet that could make good on their promise to help in the war against the CIS. As such, destroyers and corvettes were given oversized engines for more power and speed, while cruisers were made to appear as smaller, faster battleships, some with small hangars for a single squadron of fighters, allowing them to be extremely versatile frontline warships. Frigates were given powerful side armor, allowing them to plug gaps of a planetary blockade with punishing broadsides. The only original war machines which the Terrans developed were their Huron gunship, which could be refitted to serve as a troop dropship, and the HR-1 Hellcat tank, which soldiers took to calling crabs due to its unique shape. Overall, the Terrans did make significant leaps in technology in the first years of the Clone Wars, though they were far from being a prominent power in the galaxy. So this is the first anthological episode of the series, and a good example of what to expect. As you might have figured out, these videos will be shorter. They don't carry really any story. They're more for extended world building. As I said in the introduction to the first episode, they're more for explaining what changed rather than what happened. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the series. Still working on an outro, so have a good day.